Did I cause the ruin of my relationship? My ex and I, both 21F, split up about 3 weeks ago. A little backstory: we were high school sweethearts, coming up on our 5th-year anniversary. Our relationship was great, mutual love and communication all around, little bickers here and there, nothing too major. One thing to keep in mind: when we got together, it seemed like it was stripped out of a high school movie. She was with another guy on and off for about 2 years, but this guy was leaning to be a bit abusive. We were best friends at the time. However, I didn't know she had feelings for me. Out of concern for her well-being, I helped her leave the relationship she was in, only to end up in a relationship with her a month later. I saw the red flags, but I ignored them at the time. I was a teenager. Fast forward, almost 2 months ago, I had quit the job I had spent the last 3 years at due to personal reasons. Unfortunately, I immediately fell into depression, so I decided to take a month off before going back to work. I have quite a bit of savings stacked up, so I wasn't worried about my financial situation. During my depression, I tried to distract myself with games and music, just waiting out the days until I start my next job. I don't drink or smoke. I was just staying home trying to enjoy my time off. I gave my previous job everything I had for 3 years. I felt like I deserved it. I didn't realize it at the time, but in a way, I believe I started to neglect my ex unintentionally. A month before I quit, my ex got a new job, and being the giddy person she is, she got along with her co-workers very well. Too well for my liking at the time. I had always expressed my concern for the type of friends she chooses because I just want what's best for her. She can be a little naive and easy to manipulate to the wrong people, so I was always scanning these people she would hang out with. After a few weeks, one of her co-workers was invited home to have dinner with us while they were on their lunch. This was almost a daily thing for 3 weeks. Eventually, they started taking their lunches elsewhere. This was all during the time I took a month off between jobs. I had noticed that her and this guy, the same co-worker 24M, would hang out and talk a lot over the phone. She started staying out several hours past the time she usually gets home from work, a few times not coming home until 6:30 a.m. She started drinking every other night and going out on the weekends, which is something neither of us did. Whenever he would call, she would step into another room and be there for hours. Of course, over these weeks, I expressed my concern about this guy, even going as far as to tell her I'm almost certain he has feelings for her. But I was always brushed off. Being with her for almost 5 years, I tried to convince myself that I had nothing to worry about. We've never had this kind of issue really test us like this. However, for the last few weeks we were together, I was getting the gut feeling to go through her phone. I pushed it away until I finally gave in and confirmed everything I had been overthinking about. There was explicit texts, pictures, videos, and plans. Intent was definitely there from both sides. I confronted her, and in the heat of the moment she went to one, the guy she cheated with, and two, another guy from work that she was close with. She went on to tell them that I had broken up with her, but not the why part, and they both proceeded to try and sympathize with her. After confronting her about it, she stated that nothing physically intimate happened other than one night he got drunk and kissed her. I still don't know if I believe it or not. Bringing it up to present time, I moved out of state while she switched shifts at her job. Although she does express remorse for what she did, I can't escape the thought that she only feels that way because she got caught. At one point, I was a topic in at least a few of their conversations, so they both knew exactly what they were doing, but showed no sign of respect for me or our relationship. She went on to say that while I was between jobs, she felt neglected and that I wasn't giving her the attention that she needed. He was desperate and I was needy, she said. Now I know enough to know that that doesn't come close to justifying the weeks, if not months, of infidelity. However, I partially feel like I'm overreacting or being too harsh. I guess it just depends on what a person considers cheating. But I feel like if I had just given her the attention she needed, maybe this wouldn't have happened. This was my first real relationship, my first for many experiences, So it's obvious that I'm still very attached, unfortunately. We went from teenagers to adults together. We were important pieces in each other's families. We shared many things, like moments, together. Some say maybe it's just a sign that we were growing apart. Others say I'm overreacting. Some have told me once a cheater, always a cheater. Few have told me to try and forgive. Truthfully, I don't know what to do or how to feel about it. I go through phases. Some days I hate them both and I start plotting revenge. Other days I'm depressed and just sulk. Then there's times where I find myself missing her like crazy. And once or twice have I felt relieved, like some kind of stress was taken away from me. Above all, though, I've felt guilt for a reason that I don't understand. We still talk on a daily basis. Both our families are aware of this. I've been told I should stop. I want to, but I don't. It was heartbreaking to leave her family behind. We all had such a great relationship and loved one another. Supposedly, she's going to therapy and seeing a psychiatrist, something she's wanted for a while. It's unfortunate that it took coming to this for her to finally reach out and get the help she wants. For now, I've decided to throw myself into work and hope I figure it out as the days go by. Any feedback whatsoever would be greatly appreciated, no matter your standing on the situation. The more perspectives, the better. Thanks, guys. Top comment: she would come home at 6:30 a.m. after being with him all night. You found explicit texts, pictures, videos, and plans on her phone. Intent was definitely there from both sides. Buddy. You know in your heart this wasn't just a kiss. You absolutely know she's lied to you and gone behind your back to be with this guy. You don't want to believe it was more than a kiss, but really, you know. She's not staying all night with this guy, drinking, and just having a single drunken kiss. Come on. Those are the choices she made. She decided to spend her time, emotion, attention, and herself with another guy, and lie to you about it. Maybe you could have been a better partner to her. Probably that's true. Everyone could up their relationship game. But please don't think you are in any way responsible for her cheating on you. She clearly is attempting to keep from feeling or looking like she was the bad guy here. She turns her choice to cheat back on you, saying you didn't pay her enough attention. That's bullshit. If she thinks you aren't showing her enough attention, then she A, talks to you and tries to work things out, or B, leaves you. Screwing around on you with a new coworker isn't option C. That is her making a string of decisions and actually choosing to betray you for her own pleasure. Not in any way your fault. Then she goes to people and says you broke up with her. She doesn't say why to them. Now, why do you think she didn't tell them the truth? She did that because she knows she's completely in the wrong. If she says, yeah, my boyfriend looked in my phone and found out that I was having a relationship with my coworker behind his back, so he split up with me. My coworker was desperate and I was feeling needy, so I decided to hook up with him, spent the night, so I didn't have to feel needy anymore. She would look really bad to them. If she had remorse for her actions, she'd have been telling the truth. She lied to them, to you and likely to herself. It's good she is getting therapy. If your relationship comes up in a discussion with friends or family, including hers, stick to the truth. Don't lie and make yourself look bad for her actions. You aren't the bad guy and don't need to be embarrassed. If a friend came to you and described your situation happening between him and his girlfriend, what would you say to him about what you are going through? I know you are having a hard time right now. Hang in there. It will get better. For starters, you are lucky you aren't 21 years old and divorcing, maybe while trying to split custody of your child. Silver lining to a dark cloud. Don't give up on yourself. Your person is out there. Edit spelling, and to add, from the start of your post I thought you were both 21 and female. Then as I read I thought maybe not. So in any case I think that doesn't change the context of what I've said. The situation really doesn't have to be specific to MF or FF relationships. Good luck and happier times will come.